Hey guys, it's Dana. Welcome back to my channel. So last night I tweeted out to you guys asking if you would rather see a getting ready with me video or a rundown of all the new holiday sets from Urban Decay, and not to my surprise, a lot of you guys were wanting to see the products from Urban Decay, which I don't blame you because they're all absolutely amazing. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter already, you can go on over there if you're on Twitter. I'm at lollydolly128. I would love to hear from you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on into the sets. So the first product I'm going to talk about is the Vice 2 palette. As you can see, the packaging is absolutely amazing. I feel like that's one thing that Urban Decay always nails compared to the other brands. The packaging is always just so cute and luxe. I don't know. When I was reading on their website, it said that they went for kind of like an abstract orchid design, which I can totally see. Another thing that I found really unique with the packaging is that for, I guess, the colors, they did some kind of double processing type thing to where no two palettes are completely identical, which I don't know, I think it's really cool. So you kind of have your own personal Vice palette. So first off, just giving you guys a complete overlook of the palette. As you can see, it's pretty sleek considering that it houses 20 eyeshadows as well as a double-ended eyeshadow brush. And then also the little UD logo right here is little like crystals that are lifted. And then you have this button right here, and look how it opens. It's so like pretty. I don't know, I love it. It just glides open, and it has a full-size mirror which is angled perfectly even for us tall girls. So when it's down on the table, you have like the perfect angle to where you can see your face. So here are the 20 eyeshadows. As you can see, they're absolutely gorgeous and they're all new and exclusive shades. Now for this first product, I'm not going to go into swatching just because I did recently launch a blog, and the very first post is dedicated exclusively to the Vice 2 palette, complete with close-up pictures and swatches of all 20 shades. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I will have the link down below for you guys. But just to let you guys know, today I'm wearing the shades Betrayal, Voodoo, Habit, and a little bit of Prank and Smokeout. Seriously, a gorgeous palette. I completely regretted not picking up Vice the first time it came around. So just like Vice, Vice 2 will be limited edition, but it is out right now on UrbanDecay.com, Sephora, and I'm pretty sure Ulta as well. So if you guys are interested, I would recommend getting it quickly just because the first one did sell out so fast. Okay, now continuing on with eyeshadow palette type products, Urban Decay also launched 2 new palettes. Both of them are called face cases. This first one right here is called Shattered. I love the packaging of this just because it looks like shattered glass. And then this white one right here, which is also really pretty, is called the Anarchy face case. Both of these retail for $44. So the first face case we're going to talk about is called Shattered. Inside you get a super saturated high gloss lip color in the shade Love Child, which the lip pencil was a newer product to me, and I can already say I'm so impressed with them. If you guys know me, I'm a total lip junkie. I love how hydrating and glossy this goes on without kind of feathering or going all over the place. They're rich in pigmentation, and I feel like they did a really good job at picking a lip color to kind of match the smoky eyes going on here. So then besides the 5 eyeshadows, you have an Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in 0, which is the perfect mini size. Even these minis tend to last a long time for me. So after that, you can go on to the second layer, which you just pop up right here. And inside here you have 2 blushes and a highlight. And so the first eyeshadow we have in the palette is called Nameless, and this is just a gorgeous medium kind of gray brown. I absolutely love this color. It looks amazing all over the lids. Okay, and then after that we have the color Remix, and this is just a gorgeous rich purple kind of shimmery eyeshadow. The third eyeshadow we have here is called Shakedown. This is just a gorgeous brown gunmetal shade. When you swatch it on your finger, it almost kind of comes up a little bit clumpy, but when you use it with a brush on your eyes, I didn't notice that problem whatsoever. It's just kind of a weird color to swatch. Now moving on to the last 2 shades, we have Minor Sin, which is a gorgeous champagne pink. I absolutely love this for highlighting the inner corner. It's not overly frosty, but it just has a really nice metallic sheen to it. And then the very final eyeshadow in this palette is called Bleach, and it's just the perfect kind of beigey matte color. I really appreciate Urban Decay including a matte highlight color in this palette, just because sometimes you'll get a ton of shimmers and then you're not really offered a full-on matte color to use on your highlight or brow bone area. So the first blush we have here is called Overexposed, and it's just a really nice satin dusty rose. I actually prefer this blush out of the 2. I don't know, I feel like it's just a really gorgeous fall color, and apparently both of these blushes are a new formula from Urban Decay. Okay, and then the second blush we have here is called Temper, and it's just a cool kind of Barbie pink color. The only thing about this blush is it is indeed pigmented, however I feel like it kind of falls apart. You definitely have to go in gently with a brush. I noticed when putting a brush into it, it just kind of flicked everywhere. Okay, and then finally we come to the highlighter in the palette, and it's called Glint. This is just a gorgeous kind of pink champagne highlight. I'm obsessed with this highlighter already. I feel like it's the perfect color. It's not overly frosty, it's not too pinky, it's not too gold. It's honestly like the happy medium. It's just a gorgeous highlight. Now moving on to Anarchy face case. Once again, we have the same concept of a double layered compact, and within it are the same types of products, but obviously different colors. So the lip pencil in this one is called Scandal, and it's just an intense kind of like bright fuchsia hot pink. This color is absolutely gorgeous because it kind of has a metallic sheen to it, which I think will be perfect for the holidays. And then in here you have the 24/7 Glide On mini pencil in Perversion, which if you guys are familiar with the Urban Decay pencils, then you know that this is the blackest of the black. So the very first color we have in this palette is called Redemption, and it's just a gorgeous deep gunmetal with a satin finish. After that, we have Fray. Once again, Urban Decay blessed us with a gorgeous matte shadow in here. This one is definitely warmer than Bleach, which was in the previous palette. Okay, after that we have Vaporized, which I think is such a perfect name. It just really fits this color. And this is just a gorgeous deep metallic gray kind of taupey color. There are shimmers within it. And as you can see, when I swatch it on my finger, it definitely looks more of a gray taupe. However, once you blend it out onto your eye, you can definitely see more of kind of like a brownie taupe inside. After that, we have Provocateur, which is hands down my favorite eyeshadow in this entire palette. I believe online it was described as a light metallic mauve shimmer. However, to me, I definitely see more of a rose gold eyeshadow. It's absolutely stunning. Okay, and then finally we have the color Revolt, which Urban Decay totally nailed their silver eyeshadows this year. Shell Shock in the Vice 2 is absolutely gorgeous. I think I may like that one more than this, but just like Shell Shock, this one is incredibly bright. And moving on to the blushes, first up we have Fetish, which is kind of like a pinky plum color. It has tiny flecks of gold shimmer in it. I feel like this may be a staple for me in the fall. It's just a really nice color and it blends out nicely. You definitely do have to use a light hand though. The first time I went in, I got way too much on the brush, and after that I did have a hard time blending out, so just be sure you go in lightly with this blush. After that, we have the color Quickie, which I don't know, I think is such a cute name. This is just a really bright blue-based pink. However, I felt like this one was a lot smoother than the hot pink we saw in the last palette. Moving on to the highlight, this is called Craze, and it's just a gorgeous kind of pale gold highlight. Urban Decay did amazing with their highlight shades. I don't know, both of them I think are absolutely gorgeous. They're not overly frosty, and they just have really nice pigmentation. Now, before moving on to the eyeliners, I wanted to quickly mention this product here. This is a new product from the Naked line. It's called Naked Urban Decay Illuminated. So as you can see, you get this kind of cute chunky box. The packaging, I don't want to say it's like fuzzy, but I don't know, it's like a cloth packaging on the outside and then just the normal kind of cardboard box. So on the top you have a mirror, and as you can see, this is just a nice baked highlight. It's pretty big, that's because it's meant to be used on your face and body. And then on the very bottom layer here you have a really cute brush, which I actually did use this brush. It's incredibly soft. I don't know, I feel like normally when you get small little brushes like this in compacts, they tend to be cheapy, but I don't know. I feel like Urban Decay went all out on everything because this is incredibly smooth and it worked perfectly for just highlighting right on the tops of my cheekbones. So unlike the two highlighters we saw in the last two face cases, this one definitely has more shimmer in it. So I feel like when you swatch it on your hands, it's totally different than what you get on your face, because when I first opened this product and I was swatching it, I was like, oh, I don't know how I really feel about that. There's not much color payoff. It's more shimmer than anything. However, when you apply it onto your face with just a nice blush brush, as you continue blending, some of these shimmers kind of flick away from your face and you're left with more of the kind of actual base gold color, which is nice. I will say though, I definitely prefer the two highlights in the face case more than this. I feel like this is a product that I will use more on my body than on my face, which it is meant for your body as well. I feel like this would look gorgeous for just like highlighting your collarbones or maybe like down the fronts of your legs. It does definitely work on your face. However, I do wish Urban Decay would have released the actual full-size versions of the two highlighters in the face cases. Okay, now moving on to the pencil sets that Urban Decay released for the holidays. Personally, I feel like besides the palettes, the eyeliners are Urban Decay's next best products. They just always do such a good job. They're always so rich in pigmentation. So as soon as I opened this, I was so excited just because I've been wanting to play with more colored eyeliners lately. Okay, so the first set I'm going to talk about is Ocho Loco 2. Inside you get 8 full-size 24/7 Glide-On pencils and then the famous Urban Decay double barrel grindhouse. However, this one is in a really cute chartreuse color. Normally they're just like purple with a clear lid. did. At least that's what I had, but that was like years ago, so they may have changed it even since then, but whatever. This one is definitely the cutest. Now this particular set retails for $59, which may sound expensive, but that's actually an incredibly good deal just because one of these pencils on their own regularly retails for $19. So 8 of them plus a pencil sharpener for $59, which I believe this sharpener is typically $10 to $12. Don't quote me on that, but I know for sure it has to at least be 10. Okay, so out of these 8 pencils, there are 5 brand new ones in here. So that's Twice Baked, Crave, Mars, Ultraviolet, and Tornado. The shades that have already been in the collection are Deep End, Perversion, and Roach. So let's go ahead into swatching some of these babies. Okay, so starting from the top, we have Perversion, which you know is Urban Decay's richest, mattest black color they have. After that, we have Crave, which you can see is another really dark color. However, this is more of a matte brown black rather than a solid black. After that, we have Twice Baked, which is just a really nice rich brown. I don't know how well you can see, but there's actually little flecks of gold shimmer inside of this eyeliner. And then after that, we have Roach, which is just a deep kind of copper brown, once again with tiny little flecks of shimmer in it. Okay, now moving on to the more colorful half of the set. Up top, we have Deep End, which is just a gorgeous, bright, metallic kind of peacock color. I absolutely love this one. I think this would look gorgeous just for a pop of color on the lower lash line. Below that is Mars, which is just a metallic green with tiny little flecks of shimmer. Under that, we have Ultraviolet, which is just an intensely bright blue violet. And then the very last one is called Tornado, which is just kind of like a dark plummy purple. Now moving on to the second eyeliner set I have here. This one is called Black Market. Inside you get 6 of the mini 24/7 Glide-On pencils. This palette retails for $36. So within the 6 shades, there are 5 brand new ones. Those ones are West, Black Market, Riot, Apathy, Ink, and then Desperation is one that's already out in the permanent line. Okay, so I wasn't very smart when it came to placement of swatches because I had to flip my hand over and now this is all backwards to me. But first up here, starting from the bottom, we have Riot, and this is just a smoky purple with violet shimmers inside. On top of that, we have Apathy, which is just a metallic green with little shimmers inside. And then we have Ink, which is just a really nice kind of a deep navy satin color. Once again, starting from the bottom because I'm a weirdo, we have West, which is just a dark brown eyeliner. Desperation, which is kind of like an interesting deep taupe gray color. And then finally Black Market, which is just a charcoal brown color. Personally, if I could only have just one out of the 2 of these sets, I think I would definitely go for Ocho Loco, just because you can still get the neutral colors, but then fun pops of color as well. I just feel like overall, even though there is like a purple, green, and navy in here, for the most part, they're still pretty neutral just because they are so dark. So I guess I would go with this one if you're someone who's really afraid of color, because you can still have purple and navy, but tone them down because they're more of like an eggplanty and deep navy. But if you are someone who's wanting neutral colors and bright colors, I would definitely go with the Ocho Loco too. Plus you get the Grindhouse inside of it. Okay, now moving on to the very final products. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the Heavy Metal glitter liners. Honestly, I haven't played with these that much yet, so I'm just going to give you more of swatching than an actual kind of review. I am wearing one today in the color Distortion. I believe they re-released these because I remember these being out years ago. I don't know if they ever took them away, so re-release may be a wrong word, but I feel like they did take them away and bring them back. Maybe I'm making that up in my head though. Okay, so just to quickly go over these colors with you. First up, I have Amp, which is just a gorgeous turquoise color with flecks of silver glitter inside. I guess I'll go ahead and zoom in just so you guys can see these colors better. And then just to give you guys a heads up, it's just a really thin brush tip applicator. Okay, so after that, going into another blue, this one is called Spandex, and this is just a really kind of rich, darker turquoise, and it looks like there's almost flecks of black glitter in there as well as kind of like an orangey gold. After that, we have AC/DC, which is just a gorgeous kind of purpley violet glitter. And it looks like for the most part, all of the glitters in here are all purple. There's no like silver or iridescent ones. And then we have Glam Rock, which is just like a fierce metallic silver glitter. My only problem with these is that the base is clear. It's just the glitter that's a color. So for instance, this one in Junk Show, this is hot pink, iridescent, and silver glitters. It's just the glitters that have the color. Other than that, like the base is clear. I don't know. I wish like the base was actually pink as well, then I feel like you'd get way more payoff. See what I mean? It's like the base is clear and then it's just the glitter, that's the color, which is still pretty because you could apply it like on top of a hot pink shadow or a hot pink liner or even just black to really get a pop of color. This one is Midnight Cowboy, just kind of like a really pale yellow gold, but bits of silver as well. And then finally we have Distortion, which is just a gorgeous jumble of iridescent glitters. This is what I have on my lower lash line right now. And these retail for $18 a piece. Alright, so there is my rundown of all the new releases from Urban Decay for the holiday season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know which product you guys are definitely going to get your hands on. And as I mentioned earlier, if you guys are curious of swatches and my personal review of the Vice 2 palette, I'll have that blog linked down below. For me, the must-haves out of all these new products I would definitely say is the Vice 2. I'm loving both of the face cases, and then of course Ocho Loco too, just because I love the pencils. Other than that, everything else is still really nice, but I don't know, Urban Decay just kills it every time with their eyeshadows. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it if you like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!